Unfortunately, the way that the law is set up in Florida, it's really not designed to be able to have two married people hire the same attorney in an uncontested divorce or to work together to come up with some sort of a resolution. The bar prohibits me from doing that. I'm not allowed to represent a husband and a wife, or a wife and a wife, or a husband and a husband, any kind of married spouses. I'm not allowed to do that. So when people want to get an amicable divorce and they only want to hire one attorney, one of them has to hire the attorney. So like if the wife hires me, she's married to me and she's got a husband, the wife hires me, I am allowed to have communication with the husband, just like I would have communication with his lawyer if he had a lawyer. But I'm not allowed to give him legal advice. I'm not allowed to, direct traffic in terms of what he should or he shouldn't do. I'm allowed to answer some basic stuff in terms of just like education and processes sort of things, but I really have to be very mindful to not get too involved in those conversations. So what usually happens is the wife's my client, the wife and I are talking, we're coming up with plans, relaying them to the husband's giving me feedback through email or a phone call or whatever, and then we're coming up with a new proposition and going around like that. Sometimes it results in us all going to mediation, but it is a mindset thing, right? If people are hiring me for an uncontested, my mindset is different than if you're hiring me for litigation. When someone hires me for an uncontested divorce, they're hiring me as their attorney, and the expectation is that we're going to settle the case outside of court through an uncontested process. So usually what this means is that the person hires me, we sit down, we look at the financials. Sometimes I need to ask the other person for financials or for information. I basically come up with an idea of what I think is fair and reasonable, talk to my client. That person, my client and I negotiate what kind of proposal we want to make. We send a proposal to the other party. The other party looks at it. Maybe they give us feedback. Maybe they're happy with it as it is. Maybe we have to negotiate or talk about some things. But ultimately, if we're able to work out all of the details, it gets signed, it gets filed, and you get a divorce. So that's what we're usually talking about when we're discussing an uncontested divorce. And sometimes that involves mediation, and sometimes it doesn't involve mediation.